and welcome back. Now, today, forever, in this moment, what we're doing here. We're going to be talking about mentorship. One of the reasons I started this channel is because people always want to learn, particularly from me, like about design now, because I've built a little bit of experience, and then it's like, oh, okay, can you teach me this, can you teach me that? And we're going to talk about mentors, why you actually shouldn't get a mentor going into like the next phase of what you're trying to do. Yes, take my advice with a pinch of salt, maybe like half a pinch. Let's start with what exactly is mentorship. It's that one-to-one interaction you could have with someone who is like at a place where you're aspiring to be. So many cases where people ask like, okay, could you teach me this? Or could you mentor me along this path? And in a lot of my earlier years, I'm not that old, please, but I did like always grow up with the sense of trying to get a mentor for something you really wanted to go into. So when I wanted to go into animation, I was like looking for a mentor animation. When I wanted to like go into business, I was looking for, say, mentor animation, an animation mentor. When I wanted to go into business, I was looking for a business mentor, and it at some point kind of fell off. And here are just some quick reasons why mentorship may not be for you. Scalability. Scalability in terms of the mentorship. It's not so easy for people who are more popular or more pronounced to have direct one-to-one attention. And if you can't have that one-to-one relationship, it's not really mentorship. So if your mentor has 1,000 other people needing his attention or her attention for mentorship, it's really not going to be scalable because everyone has 24 hours in their day. So you probably don't have access to like the most popular person in your field or maybe the top 10 to be able to learn from them directly. So it's really going to be hard to break into that circle. If you do, great. But if you can't, that scalability is something you really need to take into factor, that it's really hard for a successful person to have 1,000 plus, 100 plus, even 10 plus people that they're trying to mentor. So we have advice. And why do we need mentors? Because we want advice. Why are some people watching this video? Because they asked me for advice. I don't know if I'm the best at giving it, but I'm giving it anyway. And the thing about mentors is they're supposed to give you customized advice to your situation. They should know you well enough and give you what should help you along your journey. The problem with that is that the world is moving so fast, so information can get outdated pretty quick. There are a lot of things that are first principle standard and they're timeless principles, right? But we're also in an age where we need to learn really fast. And what that means is that a lot of people are coming up that have unique traits and unique insights and are along unique paths in a lot of things that people look for mentorship in, majorly like career, like key things that like finance, even if you don't talk about earning capacities. The opportunities to earn money with like the blockchain or like Web3 is so different from just 10 years ago, So it's like if you wanted someone to advise you on that, they couldn't actually tell you the specific things to do. If they could teach you the principles behind those things and then you could adapt that to your learning and your insights, that's great, But you're not going to get like a one-to-one copy of someone who's ahead because times are moving so fast. So the advice you take from like everyone needs to like be refined to your own journey and like your own specific use cases. And in a lot of mentorship, sometimes that could be overlooked. So it's really good to like take principles well, and yes, there are good mentors out there that have this thing to a craft, but it brings you back to the scalability problem where they can't have that unique insight for everyone. We have the human factor. So what's the human factor? We're all human beings, and then we need that social connection. You want someone in your corner that you could talk to regularly, and have that reference that knows you and could direct you along the path. The problem is that they are also human and they have their life that they're going through, and a lot of the time, mentees expect a lot, like, from the top, and there are not a lot of ways they look to giving back to the people at the top, because you're like, oh, I want to get knowledge from you, but what can I offer? And a lot of cases, people are not so keen to, like, point out what they could offer to people who have gone ahead of them. So it's really going to get dicey in some cases where you're trying to take a lot from a person and you don't know what you're going to give back. And in a lot of times when you get close to the people who are your mentor figures or your heroes, it's like, oh, I want to learn 1, 2, 3 from you, but you realize, like, oh, they have real life problems. They get hungry, they get anger issues, they probably don't have things going so well in their family, or they got into a financial crisis on something that you thought, like, could be easily avoided, or a place where you have a key strength, you find out it's a big weakness for them. Maybe they're addicted to alcohol, and it could color your life view when you just find out that they're humans. So it's not like you shouldn't have heroes and people you look up to, but then you should always approach those things with grace. And most of the time when you try to get too much in a mentor's face, you get slapped back by their humanness. So sometimes you really should just chill and look for other mediums you could tap what you need without getting too involved in their space. That has been, like, a good option, I think. Still the pinch yourself thing. Alright, and next we have the information overflow. Because there's so much information out there, even information that is put out by the mentor figures that you're looking up to is actually less efficient to try to get direct mentorship when you could get multiple references from different people that are mentor figures. You can even have access to your mentor's mentor through the books and the insights that they've already put out there. So it's really good to take more advantage of information, because what you're actually looking to get from a mentor is the information that they've accumulated on their journey. And if they've scripted a lot of those things, and even not them directly, but a lot of people in that field, you could learn a lot from this without having direct mentorship. The thing about mentorship is a top-down approach. You're looking for someone who's this successful because they have this level of knowledge, and you're feeling like you're here. The problem with mentorship is that you ignore everything that is here. And what is here is the people you have direct access to. Those are people, like, that are learning the same things as you. Those are people, like, in your direct connection, like your direct circles. Those are like your peers. And what the advantage is in this current day and age is that there's a lot of information out there. So things that your mentor took like 10, 20 years to learn, even they have put those things in books, in blogs, and videos. And you have access to all that on the internet. And then all you have to do is be with people who are like-minded and are going to a similar place as you. And then you just get to start working and doing a lot of those things. You can really move fast when you are with people who are moving towards a similar direction, and then you gather a lot of the information that is accessible to you. If you recognize the people in your direct circle, your dad, your teacher from, like, secondary school, your elder sister, whoever, like your neighbor that has been like a good influence, or that's your colleague who has always been helping you sharp up. If you acknowledge those people as your mentors, you'll probably find that they have a lot more unique insight to you and your journey and have really contributed. And when we try to downplay the impact of those people who are working with us and have actually, like, helped us through their unique insights on our journey, on their journey with us, we actually neglect the help if we try to, like, reach too far and say, oh, this person is, like, that has done this in this level is the person I want to meet to get me to the next level. Yes, you should always stretch and grow, but do not neglect the people who are helping you along the journey. It brings us back to having a peer-to-peer growing system where you don't just look to stretch up, but then you sharpen around like-minded people who are growing along with you. And that's about it. So, in cases when you do need mentorship, because mentorship has helped me in a lot of cases, one of my first bosses, MB, he's the CEO of Basement Animation. He has been tremendous along my journey, just as a growth, as a person. He was the first person to introduce me to like working with softwares. You know, my dad has always been a big mentor. And in different ways, you have different capacities where you are, you know, excelling differently from these people. But those people like really write your journeys, you know. You have Uncle Jeffrey way back from when I was really little. You know, just through the talks he had, he was a neighbor, and then he told me like different things that have been core building principles on my philosophies through life and stuff. So, you know, you do need these people, but the thing about it is that you probably don't need to look too far for your mentors. They're the people who care about you and have been giving you key steps, like to move in each way. And you should treasure those people, not just the people that you see shining on social media or the person that's hammered in like your field. So I do wish you success. Step out. Let me know what you agree with, don't agree with in the comment section. We could talk about it, maybe have a part 2 of this, refine a few things a bit, and then see you on the next one. And yeah, that thing that they say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this awesome content. Bam, bam, bam.